Hello and welcome to Youngstown Playlist, a show dedicated to highlighting local musicians right here in Youngstown, Ohio. Some bands just make you want to dance. And the good news is, today's band wants you to do just that. This is East 9th.
Waiting so long, please just tell me I'm right. Now you know I love you so. Won't you stay the night? Because an empty room I just couldn't stand beside. One to ask for much. You know that's not me, but you know I need you now, darling. Can't you see? Because the days are long, you're the only one to set me free. And now you gotta go, but someday soon we'll cross that finish line. Yeah. Every day my patience goes fading into gray, but you know I need you now. There's got to be a way, because I don't want to wait another day. I know, and now you gotta go, but someday soon we'll cross that finish line. Yeah.
Talk about the backstory of East 9th, especially the name. Just give us the whole story.
That's tough.
Okay. From humble.
I knew you were gonna say it to me.
Well, first we're gonna go back beyond East 9th to
I love this story.
the initial band, which
I can talk about how like it came to be.
okay, so it started off with I was I believe a freshman in college, and I had class with someone who I somewhat knew through like mutual friends. His name is Ryan Burdeck. Shout out if you see this. We had classes together, and he played guitar, and he was like, "Hey, I was like, I was just getting into playing guitar more, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we should start a band or something," which is something that people say all the time, and never actually do anything with it.
Just play music.
But he was like, "No, I have a friend that's a bass player. Like, we need another guitar player, and then we'll just need a drummer." So we're like, oh yeah, let's do it. We're already like working on like, you know, songs we're gonna play and set lists and blah blah blah. And we don't have a drummer. So
You can see where this is going.
Oh yeah. the threads are all there.
Yeah,
They're just coming
that's right.
together.
Yeah.
I actually get approached by someone who I'm from Girard. It's a very small town. Everybody knows everybody. And someone asked us about playing a gig with their band. They're like, we want like 4 bands to do this. So I'm like, I kind of have a band. Like, yeah, we could do it. And I still didn't have a drummer. So enter.
Yeah, well, first of all, we both worked at where I currently work now, for the Mahoning Valley Scrappers. We were in a concession stand. So I just met Ryan that year. It was what, 2010? I think it was 2010, summer of 2010. He comes up to me, he's like, hey, so I hear you play drums. I'm like, yeah, you know, I play drums.
I don't know how I found out he played drums.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Right?
And we were talking about like what kind of equipment I have. He's like, oh, I have this, and you know, and then it led into as well. I had this show that I booked, but I don't have a drummer for it. Which, first of all, initially I'm like,
Yeah.
you have a show without a drummer? Okay, that's cool. It's risky, but let's talk about it. He's like, you know, it's gonna be one show. He's like, you know, it's not a commitment. We're just not, you know, it's just one show. We're just doing it for fun. It's like, yeah, I can do that, one show. So here we are. How many years later? 7 years later, and we're still playing after one show. So no, it was that simple. It was him asking, hey, come on over. And I remember him after the show. He was like, well, you don't suck. I'm like, oh, that's good. And then he decided, yeah, you did. He really did. He's like, you don't suck. And then I stayed around.
Talk about your sound. It just sounds like you're having fun with every song.
we're
Like it's a
miserable.
little jam session all the time.
It's awful.
Okay, well, then I guess these are useless.
I would define our genre as emo. Like shoegaze emo.
We look at our old MySpaces for inspiration every day.
No,
Emo
like
was in the past.
Yep.
basically
Coming out of the same phase.
when we started putting these songs together, we're like, we want songs that people are gonna listen to or watch us perform, and we want them to have fun at a show. We're listening to it. We want them to be upbeat. We want them to, you know, dance, tap their toes, whatever they want to do. You know,
Whatever appendage they want to shake.
Yeah,
Their
yeah.
toes, tap their heads.
Yeah, whatever it is. It's like, basically, we just want songs that, like, groove is what we were going for. And, I mean, it's really hard to pinpoint us into one genre. If you just call it alternative, I think that works.
I think of our sound kind of like a buffet. Like someone's walking up, oh, I need a spoonful of funk on this plate. Let's throw in some alternative stuff. You need to feel slow down a little bit. Here's where no one goes for you.
Yeah.
That's it though.
That's profound.
I would say alternative rock with some funk and, like, an indie feel to it. I don't know. It's
No one likes
East Nine.
wasted.
Yeah. All of these bands have had a hard time like pinning it down, and I think that's actually a good thing. It's you're
Especially
not.
the Youngstown sound. Like if you're like anywhere in this area, you know the music is. There's always something to enjoy.
Let's talk about some of the sounds that are on the album, because there's a ton. You have piano in the background on one, you have horns on another, you have a rapper, a nightmare.
I heard a quote from David Bowie that I remember, and he said, when you start writing music to fit a genre or to fit an audience, like, that's when you start to lose. He said, like, don't stop yourself from writing a song because you don't think it's you. He said, if you're feeling it and it's something you think of, go for it. And I'm a big David Bowie fan, and I remember hearing that, and, like, that quote has, like, gotten me to write some of the songs that we put on there that maybe don't sound like the rest. Steve, with his, you know, Dana experience and knowing people there, was able to get us a horn section to come down into my basement and record the horns, which the whole thing was recorded in a basement, which we've done recording in a studio. Our past EP was done that way. And, you know, not knocking it at all, it was a great time, but the whole having to pay per hour, so, like, you're rushing and you're trying to get things done, where with this, we could record something and then 2 days later be like, I think we should add this into that, or I think we should change that. You're able to do it without paying any more or any less, which was great. And, you know, this whole process, it was off and on at times, but I think our first recording session was in, like, October. And our last was in, like, February.
Yeah.
So...
But it's a really cool pace because, like you said, you don't feel rushed, and if you don't like something, I'm just gonna do it again. You know what I mean? You didn't have that pressure on you to, like, record something as soon as possible.
When we recorded that first EP, I was 15. But
Which was so long ago.
I know.
we only played a couple of shows, like the four of us.
That was very
And
early.
sure, we had a couple of new songs, but I felt a whole lot more creative freedom doing this.
Yeah, it was like we knew each other better as a
Yeah.
band by this point.
Because, like, if you listen to that EP, like, if you listen to the album now, I'm not trying to say I show off, but I go
Man,
more.
another humble brag. I never knew that of you, man.
I'm not trying to be.
He became more comfortable.
Yeah, obviously.
He became more comfortable by the second.
Yeah,
album.
I became more comfortable and was moving around the neck more. If you listen to the first EP, I just kind of stayed where I was at, keep the same thing,
And that's what you have to do when you're on top, like when you're being, you
can't
have
expand
3 hours
more.
to do this. You don't want to try stuff because if you screw up, you got to start over, and then that just keeps leaking into more time and more time. So you kind of stay safe with everything. So that album was a lot of safe. There weren't a lot of solos on it. There weren't any additional. There's no keyboard in it. There's nothing additional added in. There are horns and a cowbell, but
There's one background vocal on Wasted.
There's one background vocal. Like we go to the second album, there's background vocals on a lot of things. There's horns. There's chainsaws and children's laughter and sirens.
It's not even like an exaggeration.
No, yeah.
I know. I listen to it all the way here.
Yeah.
To, like, to get.
Yeah.
Checks out. Chainsaws and children.
Yeah, if that's not, if you're not interested in this album by now, I don't know like what's gonna get you there. Like really, like I gotta hear.
And there's the ocean.
Chainsaw Massacre.
There's the sounds of the ocean. And pianos and organs. And we just had a lot more freedom and a lot more time to do what we wanted to. It was a lot more comfortable pace.
I want to say thank you.
Oh, what do you say? Absolutely. Thank you. This is great.
This is really fun.
That's our show. I want to thank East 9th for playing and talking with us. A huge thanks to Suzie's Dogs and Drafts for letting us shoot in their downtown location again, and thank you for watching. Make sure to like and share this video and like our Facebook page. See you next time. I'm just gonna have in the corner a shout out.
Yeah,
you should.
Cosmic Lemons, rest in peace. Yeah. Frank Killed Lemons, The Spirit of the Bear, we love those guys. Colorblind's really good, Whiskey Pilot. Also Alteris, we can't forget them. Northern Wales really good.
Gabe, Hobie, somebody.
I was at a bonfire at my friend Ali Gruscher's house.
Talking about Kelvin. Shout out to Kelvin. I think the goal, like doing shows, especially if we're doing like 3-hour shows or something, is we always have something in that set that someone's gonna like. Even if you're waiting around, there's always something in there that's gonna jump out. You're like, oh, I like that song, or I know that song. And we've always, like, even from the beginning, we did a lot of covers, which actually just recently is when we started playing like mainly originals. But even with the originals, like we always try to do something that is gonna appeal to somebody.